The idea of a dominant narrative is very apparent in high school films. A dominant narrative is something we as society hear over and over again. These stories portray straight white characters in a middle class position in society, and typically living a privileged life. In addition, themes of societal expectations and white saviorism are also components of the overarching idea of reflecting dominant culture in film. This vlog will look deeper into course films in order to uncover the elements of film that reflect dominant cultural narratives. Starting with School Ties, we see Daniel Green talking with his peer, Charlie Dillon.
I envy you.
Me? Why?
Because if you get what you want, you'll deserve it. And if you don't, you'll manage. You don't have to live up to anybody else's expectations. You are who you are. That's really what draws people to you, David. It's not that you're the cool quarterback.
Come on, you're the most popular guy on campus.
Well, if my name weren't Dylan, that would be different.
Bullshit.
David, don't forget my last name's Dylan. Son of Grayson Jr., brother of Grayson III. I'm a Dylan. I'm a part of those right connections I was telling you about.
People don't care about that.
Oh, you'll see.
Dan Green is the embodiment of a dominant character. He is working middle class, and though he is a minority being Jewish, his life is envied by even the wealthiest students who feel that familial pressures are too overbearing. Films primarily reflect dominant culture. Of course, that is not to say that these films do not maintain the cycle of dominant culture. The largest social class in the country is the middle class. The first film we look at is School Ties. We wish to draw your attention to the fact that even the wealthiest students in the school are jealous of David Green, a middle-class warrior. This is because the middle class is both a dominant group in society and a dominant culture in movies. Now taking a look at suburban films, we will uncover the dominant culture of men represented in The Breakfast Club.
It's you and me. 2 hits. Me hitting you, you hitting the floor. Anytime you're ready, pal. I don't want to get into this with you, man. Why not? Because I'd kill you.
The most significant takeaway from this clip is in regard to the portrayal of toxic masculinity. Both Andrew and Bender get into fisticuffs during the clip in an attempt to show off who is more manly than the other. Andrew is trying to shut Bender up after he's picking on Claire, and it shows an instinctual desire to show off to prove oneself in front of someone of the opposite sex. The dominant narrative of these straight white males plays very nicely into this scene, and it showcases a perfect example of men in situations specifically involving a female. It reflects how men believe they must uphold societal expectations by showing their power. Contrasting the clip from The Breakfast Club, this clip from Mean Girls reflects the dominant culture of females, specifically in suburban high school films.
Okay, you should just know that we don't do this a lot, so this is like a really huge deal.
We want to invite you to have lunch with us every day for the rest of the week.
Oh, it's okay. Coolness. So we'll see you tomorrow.
On Wednesdays, we wear pink.
Females also have societal expectations for the way they should look and act. We see here that the Plastics are asking Katie to join their exclusive clique. The allusions to what outfits are worn on which weekdays, and the addition of Katie to this special club, is a prime example of gender socialization, where Katie must learn to join a new social group, specifically a social group that is popular, ditzy, and hypersexual. Lastly, we'll take a look at an urban high school film, Dangerous Minds, and how Mrs. Johnson's class reflects the dominant culture of urban high school students.
What happened, Miss Shepherd? Oh, no, she ain't asking about Miss trifling ass Shepherd. You playing yourself, playing yourself. Yo! Listen up! Listen up! White bread want to know what happened to Miss Shepherd.
Killed the bitch. Kick it. Hey, I was beginning to let the booster.
Everybody. And maybe a waiter.
This clip is from an urban high school film that also upholds dominant culture. In this clip, we see Miss Johnson entering her classroom for the first time. The students are impoverished and part of an underfunded school system. It has become commonplace to put blame on the students' initiative rather than the societal cycles keeping them down. Urban high school films are often based on true events, and the filmmakers are blatantly trying to reflect culture. That is why the majority of urban high school films involve a white savior, because white saviorism is an actual ideal present in our society today.
The idea that dominant culture is a reflection of society rather than a shaper is a difficult theory to grapple with. It can be viewed like the question of what came first, the chicken or the egg. There's evidence for both sides of this argument, however it seems to be more apparent in media as something that mirrors what we expect of society, rather than society influencing how we want to be entertained.